Miami was scorched not just by the Florida sun, but by the fire of a devastating shootout that left 2 FBI agents dead, 5 wounded, and a chilling question echoing through the halls of law enforcement. Did their standard-issue firearms fail them? This was not just a gunfight. It was a brutal, extended engagement against armed bank robbers, a grinding machine of lead and flesh that exposed a terrifying vulnerability. The .38 special revolvers and 9mm semi-automatics, once considered adequate, seemed to shatter under the immense pressure of that day, leaving agents outgunned and outmatched.
This catastrophe, a raw wound in the Bureau's history, demanded a radical, uncompromising answer. It plunged the FBI into a desperate quest for superior firepower, a quest that would ultimately birth one of the most revered yet fleeting tactical weapons ever conceived, the 10mm MP5. The Miami-Dade firefight, now etched into tactical doctrine as a grim lesson, exposed critical deficiencies in the FBI's operational capabilities, particularly concerning terminal ballistics.
Agents, armed predominantly with Smith & Wesson .38 special revolvers and 9mm S&W 459 pistols, found their rounds failing to incapacitate targets effectively, even with multiple hits. The assailants, hardened criminals, absorbed numerous shots before finally succumbing, prolonged by a devastating combination of adrenaline, drug use, and the perceived inadequacy of the standard ammunition. The Bureau's internal review was scathing, a fundamental lack of stopping power.
This wasn't merely about bullet construction. It was about kinetic energy, penetration, and the rapid transfer of that energy to disable a threat. The call went out for a cartridge that could deliver a decisive, immediate blow, something that could cut through an assailant's will and capability to fight with unrelenting force. This urgent mandate propelled the FBI into a forensic examination of existing cartridges, bypassing the conventional wisdom of the time. They didn't just want more, they wanted better.
Their research led them to an unconventional powerhouse, the 10mm automatic cartridge. Developed in the early 1980s by firearms visionary Jeff Cooper and brought to life in the iconic Dornaus & Dixon Bren 10 pistol, the 10mm was a revelation. It offered a potent blend of higher velocity and heavier bullet weight than the ubiquitous 9mm, approaching the ballistic performance of some lighter rifle rounds at close range.
It was a sledgehammer compared to the tip of a hammer. The FBI's ballistics experts refined it further, crafting what became known as the FBI load, a specific 180-grain jacketed hollow point round designed for optimal penetration and expansion. This wasn't just a caliber change, it was a philosophical shift, a hard-learned acceptance that when lives were on the line, sheer power could not be compromised.
With the 10mm selected as their new standard pistol cartridge, the next logical step was to ensure logistical and tactical synergy across their entire firearms inventory. If agents were to carry 10mm sidearms, why not harness their specialty
Suppressing fire! Keep pushing! Reloading! Watch your flank! Clear the area! Move on!
The idea of ammunition commonality was not just pragmatic, it was brilliant.
It streamlined logistics, simplified training, and ensured that in a critical situation, any agent could potentially resupply another, regardless of their primary weapon platform. This vision, born from the crucible of Miami, led the FBI to approach Heckler & Koch, HK, the legendary German arms manufacturer, with a truly unique request, an MP5 chambered in 10mm. The MP5, already a global icon of special operations and law enforcement, due to its legendary reliability, accuracy, and smooth operation, had been in FBI service in its 9mm variant since the early 1980s.
It was beloved for its compact size, its devastating rate of fire, and its unparalleled controllability. But the 9mm, while proficient, now carried the ghost of Miami. HK, known for its innovative engineering, took on the challenge. In 1994, they delivered a bespoke weapon for the FBI, the MP5/10. This wasn't just a rechambering, it was an engineering marvel, adapting the sophisticated roller-delayed blowback system Originally designed for the
62 by 51mm G3 rifle and scaled down for 9mm to handle the more potent 10mm round. The resulting firearm was a testament to German precision and the FBI's unwavering commitment to overwhelming force. The MP5/10 arrived like a titan, a compact powerhouse that immediately captivated every agent who laid hands on it. Its design lineage traced back through decades of Heckler & Koch's engineering prowess, beginning with the foundational CE-10mm rifles and evolving into the G3, from which the MP5 directly inherited its revolutionary roller-delayed blowback operating system.
This system, unlike simple blowback, utilized a pair of rollers to delay the opening of the bolt, allowing chamber pressure to drop safely before extraction. The result was an incredibly smooth, almost ethereal recoil impulse, even with the potent 10mm cartridge. For a weapon capable of spitting out 800 rounds per minute of full-power hollow points, its controllability was nothing short of miraculous.
Agents described it as insanely controllable, noting that even new shooters, including female attendants at the range, could execute full magazine dumps with astonishing accuracy, keeping all rounds within a 6-inch circle at 20 feet. This was not just a weapon, it was an extension of the shooter's will, a surgical instrument that delivered raw power with precision. The 10mm MP5 offered an unparalleled blend of attributes critical for law enforcement operations.
Its compact size, almost pistol-like in its footprint, belied the 30 rounds of destructive firepower packed into each magazine. This made it the ideal companion for agents operating in tight, confined spaces. For vehicle operations, where space was a constant enemy, the MP5/10 shone. It could be easily stowed, deployed rapidly from a cramped driver's seat, and maneuvered with agility inside a patrol car or an unmarked sedan during an ambush or pursuit.
In close-quarters battle (CQB) environments, clearing rooms, navigating labyrinthine hallways, or engaging threats within residential or commercial buildings, its short overall length and exceptional handling characteristics made it devastatingly effective. Specialty teams, particularly SWAT operators, found the MP5/10 to be an indispensable tool. Veterans like Special Agent Ted, with 25 years in the Bureau, recalled using it extensively for tubular assaults, a specialized tactic involving the clearing of aircraft.
Imagine the constricted, narrow aisle of an airliner, the seats creating choke points, the desperate need for compact firepower. A longer M4 carbine, even with a collapsible stock, would be unwieldy, prone to snagging on overhead bins or seatbacks, hindering rapid target acquisition and movement. The MP5/10, however, navigated these challenges with ease, allowing operators to maintain situational awareness and deliver precise fire without impediment.
It was, in their words, tubular, a term of ultimate approval in the tactical community. The sentiment among agents was universally ecstatic. The MP5/10 wasn't just a piece of equipment. It was a symbol of renewed confidence after Miami, a tangible embodiment of the Bureau's commitment to providing them with the best tools available.
It was one of those pinnacle of my career moments for agents receiving their issue weapon. The experience of wielding such a potent yet controllable firearm instilled a deep sense of trust and capability. While some agents occasionally opted for the 9mm MP5 variant due to its even lighter recoil or availability of compact folding stocks, the 10mm version, often issued with a fixed stock for stability, was widely considered the quintessential FBI long gun of its era.
Its diopter sights, renowned for their speed and accuracy, perfectly complemented the weapon's inherent precision. The MP5/10 was a triumph of tactical design, an answer to the Bureau's most profound needs, a system that agents genuinely loved and relied upon. Yet even such a beloved and effective weapon was not destined to last.
The narrative of the 10mm MP5, however, is inseparable from the broader, often tumultuous, story of the 10mm cartridge itself. While the MP5/10 excelled, the sidearm initially chosen to champion the 10mm, the Smith & Wesson 1076, faced a more challenging fate.
Adopted from 1990 to 1993, the 1076, though a capable handgun, proved to be less of a fleet success than its submachine gun counterpart.
The powerful 10mm cartridge, while delivering undeniable stopping power, presented significant challenges for a fleet system meant for every agent, regardless of physical stature or experience level. The sheer size and weight of the 1076, necessitated by the cartridge's power, made it difficult to conceal for smaller-framed agents. More critically, the potent recoil of the full-power FBI load proved challenging for many to manage effectively.
While experienced shooters could control it, a significant portion of the agent population found their split times, the speed at which they could deliver accurate follow-up shots, negatively impacted. In a life-or-death scenario, even fractions of a second matter. If a weapon's recoil slowed down an agent's ability to re-engage, it inherently made them less effective. The Bureau's ballistic research facility, while acknowledging the cartridge's terminal performance, had to concede that the 1076 was not universally shootable.
It was a compromise, a tactical dilemma, raw power versus universal proficiency. The 1076's official procurement contract ultimately lasted only 3 years, although many agents, particularly those who found it manageable, continued to carry it for years afterward, a testament to their personal preference for the round's undeniable authority. This inherent tension surrounding the 10mm cartridge, powerful but demanding, foreshadowed the MP5x10's eventual obsolescence.
The 10mm MP5 was not thrown out with the bathwater due to the 1076's struggles. It was a distinct, superior platform. But the tactical landscape was shifting dramatically, driven by an ever-evolving threat matrix that demanded more than just raw power. It demanded specific kinds of power. The primary threat facing law enforcement, particularly federal agencies, was increasingly sophisticated, often involving adversaries equipped with body armor.
The fundamental limitation of even the mighty 10mm, like all pistol cartridges, lay in its velocity. While heavy and impactful, pistol rounds, by their very nature, are designed for lower velocities compared to rifle cartridges. This difference becomes critical when encountering hardened targets. Body armor, especially modern ceramic or steel plates, is designed to defeat precisely this kind of ballistic impact.
A heavy, relatively slow pistol bullet, even a 10mm hollow point, might deform and deliver a massive amount of energy to the plate, but it rarely possesses the velocity to punch through it. It hammers, but it doesn't pierce. Meanwhile, the humble rifle carbine was undergoing a revolution.
For decades, rifle platforms like the M16 were considered too long and unwieldy for general law enforcement use, confined mostly to specialized military applications. But advancements in design, particularly the development of shorter barrels and collapsible stocks, began to blur the lines between rifles and submachine guns. Early Colt M16s, with their 20-inch barrels, gave way to 16-inch M4 variants, and then, crucially, to even more compact configurations with 11.5-inch barrels.
These short-barreled carbines, SBRs, chambered in
56 by 45mm NATO offered a devastating combination: rifle-level velocity, superior penetration against body armor, and increasingly maneuverability that rivaled the traditional SMG in tight spaces. The 5.56mm cartridge, even from an 11.5-inch barrel, achieved velocities significantly higher than the 10mm, enabling it to defeat common threat levels of body armor with relative ease.
It wasn't just about punching through. It was about the wound ballistics, the fragmentation, and the hydraulic shock delivered by a high-velocity rifle round that far surpassed what any pistol caliber could achieve. The M4, in its increasingly compact forms, was becoming a jack-of-all-trades, capable of engaging targets at longer ranges, while simultaneously proving highly effective in CQB scenarios. It offered the flexibility and firepower that no submachine gun, regardless of its caliber, could truly match against an armored threat.
This wasn't a sudden death blow, but a gradual, inexorable shift. The The FBI, facing a transitional phase in its arms program, still maintained a diverse arsenal, including shotguns, MP5s, both 9mm and 10mm, and the growing number of M4 carbines. However, the trend was undeniable. The M4 platforms were simply a better answer to the evolving challenges.
The tactical imperative to counter body-armored threats, a reality that became more prevalent with each passing year, ultimately sealed the MP5/10's fate. It wasn't that the 10mm MP5 was rendered obsolete in a universal sense. It was simply pushed to the side by a better answer for the specific and increasingly urgent problems the Bureau was facing. By around 2016, the decision was made. The 10mm MP5 would be phased out of service.
For the agents who had wielded this magnificent weapon, the news was met with profound heartbreak. It was a sad day, a moment of somber farewell to a trusted companion, a firearm that had once represented the pinnacle of tactical superiority. Many agents had run both the MP5/10 and the newer M4 carbines concurrently for a time, cherishing the unique advantages each offered.
But eventually, the order came down, and they had to turn in their beloved MP5s. The emotional weight of that moment was palpable. It wasn't just about giving up a tool, it was about relinquishing a piece of their professional identity, a tangible link to a pivotal era in FBI history. The 10mm MP5, though relatively short-lived in service compared to its 9mm predecessor, leaves behind an undeniable legacy.
It stands as a powerful testament to a pivotal moment in law enforcement history, a direct, visceral response to a devastating failure. It embodies the FBI's uncompromising pursuit of effective firepower, even when it meant venturing into uncharted territory with a demanding, high-performance cartridge. Its existence highlighted the brilliant adaptability of the HK MP5 platform and the ingenuity of its roller-delayed blowback system, which allowed a pistol caliber to feel like a whisper while delivering a thunderous impact.
More than just a firearm, the MP5/10 represents a crucial chapter in the ongoing evolution of tactical doctrine. Its eventual phasing out underscores a fundamental truth in the world of firearms. Technology and tactics are in a perpetual arms race against an ever-changing threat. Even the most beloved, most effective tools can be superseded by new developments that offer superior solutions to emerging problems.
The MP5/10 may have been a pistol caliber legend, but the rise of compact, high-velocity rifle carbines capable of defeating modern body armor created a new paradigm, a more complete answer to the complexities of modern threats. The heartbreak felt by agents forced to surrender their MP5/10s speaks volumes about the human connection to the tools of their trade. These weren't just metal and plastic. They were instruments of justice, protectors of life, and extensions of their will in the most dangerous of circumstances.
Their passion for the 10mm MP5, their petitions for HK to bring it back, are not merely sentimental indulgences. They are a profound acknowledgement of a weapon system that, for its time, was truly exceptional. The story of the FBI's rare 10mm MP5 is a powerful reflection on adaptation, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of an advantage in the face of escalating danger.
It forces us to confront the cold, hard reality that sometimes even what is undeniably good must give way to what is better for survival. It asks us, in the unforgiving crucible of combat and law enforcement, where the stakes are life and death, how much are we willing to compromise for the sake of familiarity? And how quickly can we embrace the next decisive leap forward?